Hello! Today we are doing another sketchbook tour. This will be the last one for a while, I think, at least until I finish the big one, the one that we decorated in the last video, if you want to check that out. But this is the one that I finished before starting my new sketchbook, and I finished it at the same time as my 2-week sketchbook. That's why there are so many sketchbook tours right now. Because the first video that I filmed was a sketchbook that I finished a long time ago. After that I started this one, and during this one I also started the 2-week sketchbook. So yeah, that's why there are so many now, but the next one, as I said, will take a little while. Yeah, but let's get into it. This is a Leuchtturm sketchbook. It's the one with thicker paper. It was quite expensive, but I have to say this is my favorite sketchbook so far, at least paper-wise and format-wise. I don't know, it held together pretty nicely. It's not as thick as my last sketchbook, but that's okay. It also has, it doesn't have as many pages as my last sketchbook. That's also why it's not as thick. And as you can see, I decorated it with a bunch of stickers. That's about the sketchbook itself. Yes, here on the first page, oh, I will have to block that out. That's personal info. This is a business card that I wanted to draw for myself. I don't have Twitter. And at the time when I created this card, I also didn't have a YouTube, but I have Instagram, and this is my Instagram ad. So if you want to check that out, I'm not posting regularly anymore. But yeah, this is just a little self-portrait and some stickers. I think it's a nice beginning. And then this is the real first page. And I love this so much. I wanted to do a drawing of myself in a kind of Art Nouveau aesthetic. Not in the Art Nouveau style, because I know this isn't Art Nouveau, but I wanted to do the framing and, you know, the pose and everything. And it turned out so lovely, I think. And on here I did some color swatches, and then I just doodled some Pokemon over it. And I really like this Shamin. Oh, it's not focusing. Oh well. Yeah, I just really like that green doodle with the colors in the background. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this page. And then these are just some, yeah, I always have a page in my sketchbook where I just put all these stickers that I can find. On this page I wanted to try something. I wanted to draw shadows, like laying under a tree, and you know, all the lighting spots and the shadows, but it didn't work out. I think without an explanation you wouldn't know what it would be, but I still like it. I did these with the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2. I love these pencils so much. I don't use them a lot, but when I do, it's always fun and it will always look nice. This is inspired by a song by Louis Zong. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Oh, I'm so sorry. Louis Zong? I think Louis Zong. I'm so sorry if that's wrong. Oh my god. Yeah, the song is called Moonbird. It's a very nice song. And here I did some landscape studies with acrylic markers. And I especially like how this turned out, and this one too. It's very simplistic, but you know what you see. Here are some Pokemon. My favorite Gumi. Yes. And I just decorated it with some extra paper and stickers and such. And here are these two. They are best friends. They are best friends. And I really like how this turned out. I really started to enjoy drawing Pokemon and drawing Pokemon interacting with each other. Here I did some pencil drawings, and I love this egg toast so much. In general, these drawings, I think they look very nice. I really like this style. And on this page I did a 3-color challenge, and I just picked colors blindly from my pencil bag, and it was 3 green tones, and green is my favorite color. It was kind of funny. And so I decided to draw a cat because cats are one of my favorite animals. I think it is kind of fitting. Here I drew more Pokemon. I don't know the English name of this Pokemon. And on this page I wanted to draw some tree bark with the Caran d'Ache pencils. Yeah, I like how this turned out, and this not so much, but that's okay. And this isn't mine, it's a print I got from an upgrade box, and they featured the artist, it's this, I don't know if you can read it, by Anna Sienna, I guess. And I really liked this print, and I wanted to draw something in a similar style sometime as well, so I decided to put it in my sketchbook and then credit the artist here, so... More Pokemon art. I didn't finish this. I wanted to give it more color, and I don't know why. I think I waited for the watercolors to dry, and then I started to do something else, and then I forgot about it. But yeah, I really like this gardening with Pokemon idea, and, you know, Squirtle, and Wooper is his English name, I think. Just playing with water. I think it's such a cute idea. And then I also don't know her English name, again. I only know the German names. But I like how I just chose blue colors for this page. This isn't really finished. I doodled this when I was ceramics painting with my family, and I only painted a little soup spoon, so I was done pretty fast, and I decided to just sit there and doodle some deer, and I only had a black pencil with me and my sketchbook. But I really like how this turned out. This is one of my favorite pages. I just really like the colors, and I like the pose, and again Pokemon. I was really into Pokemon at that point. It comes and goes, but I will always come back to liking Pokemon. Sadly, it printed like this is also Caran d'Ache, and this is watercolor, and the Caran d'Ache they always print onto the next page. And later I found a solution for this, but I didn't use it here, so yeah. But since this is blue and this is blue too, it isn't too recognizable, I think. It doesn't ruin the drawing, luckily. Here I drew some vegetables. These are pencils that I also got from the upgrade, and I really liked them. They were very smooth. It was like drawing with lipsticks. Yeah, they look like this. Kind of like lipstick, and they also feel like you're drawing with lipstick, and they are also water soluble, but I think I didn't use water in here. No, I didn't. And here I did some landscape practices with these pencils, with these pens. It's a flower that grows in my dad's garden a lot, and they always remind me of summer. And this page is a little unfinished. I wanted to draw something else here too, and then I forgot. So, yeah. Oh yes, my Lethal Company page. At that point, I was playing a lot of Lethal Company with my friend, and I decided to do a little fun interactive Lethal Company page. You know, you can charge your flashlight, and then here the note that you can find, and I drew some little monsters underneath. It's fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. And then more Pokemon art. I really like the colorfulness and the texture that I created here. It's very pleasing to look at, for me at least. I think I uploaded this on my Instagram. Yes, I did. This is a redraw of a drawing I did, I think, 2 years ago. I don't know. But I really wanted to draw something pink, something girly, and put a bunch of stickers on it. And I really like how this turned out. And I also wanted to draw some dogs. I'm a cat person actually, but some dogs are just so cute. I really like golden retrievers, and I like Shiba Inus a lot, and corgis. They are just, I don't know, they're cute. This is an art trade I did with someone on Instagram. I also uploaded it. I really like this. It's very whimsical, very fairy-like. And I also really like this. I didn't finish it. I wanted to color this in and also color this stinky AI guy. But I didn't. But I like this vibe. This is another art trade I did with someone on Instagram. And this I did with colored pencils. This is a mix of colored pencils, watercolor, and acrylic markers. Here I used colored pencils, and I did the outline with a darker pencil first, and then I colored it in with a lighter pencil. And I really like the style of this, how it looks. And at this point it was really starting to be spring and everything was blooming, and I wanted to draw a lot of flowers because I love spring. It's my favorite season, and I think I captured the spring happiness with this drawing. Oh, this was fun. These aren't my drawings. I was drawing with my cousins, and I drew something for them, and then they drew something for me in my sketchbook. And it's so lovely. Drawing with kids is so much fun because they don't think about what looks good or what is logical or whatever. They just draw. And I think that's very inspiring. And I had a lot of fun drawing with them that day. Then I decided to draw, I did a redraw, like kind of draw this in your style with my cousin. She drew this, she called her the Sun Girl, and I also wanted to draw the Sun Girl then. And a little doodle page. I really like this, especially in combination. It looks so warm and sunny, and I don't know, I feel like it's very soothing to look at. This is the start of my current OC, my current world that I'm building. And these are the very first designs. They look very different now. And this is also a recycled OC. He got a completely new design, except for maybe the hair in this part, but everything else is different about him now. She got completely new clothes and a new hairstyle, and I put her scar on the other side. Why? I don't know. I just decided it would look better on the other side. This is one of my favorite pages in the sketchbook. I used some neon colors in it, and I really like how they just pop out, and it looks so colorful and bright and happy, and yeah, maybe also a little creepy, but I like the vibe of this. I think I saw this kind of border somewhere on Pinterest, and I wanted to do one as well. Here are just some... I just wanted to draw a dragon, and so I decided I want to draw a weird dragon. And I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. I didn't when I drew this, but now looking at this, it really reminds me of the dragons in Breath of the Wild. And on this page I did this, I did the sketch first, and then I had some watercolor and I just splashed it on there. And everywhere where the watercolor was, I colored it in and, outlined these splashes. I really like this effect. I want to do it. I want to do that again sometime. It was very fun. Here we are getting closer to his new design. That's that's him. And I really like the background of these. This is a paper bag that I got at an artist market. And these are dried magnolia flower petals. And I thought these looked like fairy wings, and I decided to use them as fairy wings. Oh, this is also one of my favorite pages. I have a lot of favorite pages in this sketchbook. I spent the day in the forest with my boyfriend and we saw a lot of cool things. It was in this swamp, and it is a swamp forest kind of area, and you can find a lot of pretty flowers and cute animals there. And then I wanted to draw some salamanders or newts or both. I don't know how to tell which one is which, to be honest. But I like this. I wanted to do some, you know, some colorful lizard thingies. Here I tried to design an OC. I wanted to draw someone with blue skin tone. I don't know why, and then I came up with this. I probably will never draw them again, but oh well. And another doodle page. And at that point I figured out how to protect, you know, the page when I use crayons or something on this, on the next page. I just take clear tape and put it over it. Yeah. I think I really like this effect also. I like the texture, I don't know. And it protects the other page from the colors of this page. And another self-portrait page. I draw myself a lot because it's easy. Not because I especially am in love with myself or something. But it's easy, it's comfortable, I know exactly what I look like, I know exactly how to portray myself, so it's my comfort zone. And I found this picture on Pinterest with a guy holding a giant pencil, and I thought it was kind of funny and I wanted to draw myself with a giant pencil. This is a drawing of a picture I found on Pinterest, and I changed the colors a bit, and yeah, I really like how this turned out. I drew this on watercolor paper and then I glued it in here. And this is just another doodle page. I wanted to do something that fits this color palette. The tape didn't really stick to the paint because it was still a little wet. So it looks a little wonky, but yeah. And then I wanted to design a cat human-like character, like kind of the Khajiit from Skyrim. And I really like the design of this and how it turned out. And then I didn't know what to draw on this page and I just drew a cat and it looks very unfinished. Yeah. More Pokemon art. I really like this page too. I really like the concept of, you know, the first evolution of a Pokemon and then, you know, they're friends, they're playing together, and then the second or third or whatever evolution, and they're still friends. Oh, the sticker here, it fell off it. Oh, okay. And then I drew Flareon, and I really like how I made it look very floofy. And I also put tape over it because I did this with Caran d'Ache again. And then sadly, because I put down the tape and then I scrape it to get rid of all the air bubbles. And I kind of scraped it here and it created this line. It's so sad because I really like this drawing and this kind of, well, it doesn't destroy it, but you know, it's noticeable. Oh well. Some dinosaur drawings. I really like these. Yes, I should draw more dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs and I don't really draw them that much. I started to draw them more from this point on. Then I drew a star horse. Yeah, nothing much to say about this. Another doodle page. And then I want to draw some alpacas. I've never drawn alpacas before. This one looks kind of creepy. And this one looks goofy. But I really like how this turned out. I want to draw a mermaid, and I don't know how to feel about this drawing. I don't really like it, but I did this without any reference or having to look up for inspiration on Pinterest or anything. I just drew it. So I like that, but I don't really like how it looks, but I had fun. And then I did this. I like the color palette of it. I know that I drew this when a friend was at my place and we drew things together. It was very nice. Oh, this is fun. These are trees. I found a drawing like this on Pinterest, so it's not my idea. I hope I can maybe find the artist. I will put it on screen. But I really like the concept of drawing the leaves as blobs in the background first and then drawing the trunk on top of it. And then another landscape study. In this I had some, I don't know, I did something with green color and with green watercolor and it didn't dry. So I pat it dry with some, what is it, some kind of napkin. And then the napkin was all green and I thought it looks really, really cool. So I decided to put it in my sketchbook and then I just drew a beetle on top of it. And I really like the texture that it gives. It's very fun. This was after I went to a concert with a friend of mine. I will block out this page because it's kind of a diary entry. But yeah, these were our outfits and it was a very fun evening. For this I just glued down a bunch of different papers because I wanted to add some texture to it. And then I just drew some tulips over it and a little whale shark on this page. And here I did a little shaky thingy. Well, it's not working too well, but I wanted to make it look like it's an aquarium. And these are little like plankton or water bubbles. Yeah, a little rainbow trout. I really like the artwork of the fish in Animal Crossing. I don't really like fish, but I like, I don't know, the art style of the fish in Animal Crossing somehow. So I decided to draw a rainbow trout and then just some plants and a tomato. And I really like how scribbly this looks and yes, how colorful it is. On this page I wanted to draw the sun shining through leaves and how it creates different layers of shadow and light because I think that's so pretty. But yeah, I failed. And I will block this out again because it was another diary entry. Oh yes, at that point when I drew this I was very sick for a week and I couldn't get out of bed. So I decided, okay, it's time for another rabbit hole, and I fell into a vampire rabbit hole and just watched a bunch of videos about the mythology of vampires and everything, the history of vampires and how the depiction of vampires change through books like Dracula, for example. And yeah, I decided to draw Dracula. It turned out kind of weird, but anyways. And then I drew myself as a vampire, and you can't really see, but I wanted to draw myself drinking tea, and it's blood orange tea. And here I did some studies of my plants. I wanted to do each drawing with a different art medium. Here, this is wax crayons. This is some kind of watercolor felt tip pens, I don't know. And yeah, Caran crayons. And this is another water-based felt tip pen. And I really like how this looks. Some more doodles of my OC Rena, still with her old clothing and her old hairstyle. But I really like this. I try to put more personality in these drawings. I don't know if it worked, but yes, it's something that I still need to study. I want to draw more OCs, but I really, really struggle with coming up with poses or stories or drawings that depict their story or my OCs doing things instead of just standing there. but it's something that I'm getting better at least a little bit. And this is, I don't know, a very edgy drawing. I found this dog on Pinterest and I wanted to do a checkerboard. I don't know, I like this idea. And here I started to practice drawing people in a way that you can recognize them. I think that's something that you also saw in my other 2 sketchbook tours, but this is why I first did it. And yeah, I used a YouTube video by Banana Boy. It's a very nice tutorial. It was very fun to work with it, and I can really recommend looking it up if you also want to practice that, because it was also just fun. Even if you don't want to practice drawing faces, it's still very fun to watch. And it really helped me a lot. I mean, you can see a big difference from the first drawing to the finished drawing. Then I spent a day with my family and I decided to draw my mom, my sister, and my 2 cousins. And we had cake and ice cream and strawberries, and it was a very, very nice warm summer day. And then some black-white doodles of Pokemon again. This is a more recent design of my 2 Cs. I think he looks very weird. I don't know, he looks kind of... It gives me Uncanny Valley vibes somehow, so I don't know. But in general, I like this pose. I found it on Pinterest and I thought, okay, these 2 would be perfect for this pose. And then this is so cool. I found this tiger on Pinterest, a real life picture, not a drawing that I just copied. And I wanted to draw that, and then I thought, okay, I'm very angry. I don't know, I'm very angry lately about things. So I wanted to depict anger in a drawing, and I think it turned out very cool. I mean, her teeth are kind of weird, but you know, maybe she just dislikes going to the dentist. You know, no shame on that, dentists are creepy. Yeah, but I really like this. Another doodle page and another dinosaur. I did a tinier version of this in my 2-week sketchbook and I really liked this, so I wanted to do a bigger version of it in here too. And yeah, the colors, the style, it's a dinosaur. I just love everything about it. Then more of my OCs, and I think this is the actual recent design now. You can see Rena has her scar on the other side, she has her new hairstyle and the new clothing. The colors aren't right in this picture because I did it in acrylic markers and I don't have the right colors for her, but I still like it. This is also one of my favorite spreads in this sketchbook. I really like Splatoon, and drawing Splatoon characters is so much fun. And on here with the hair, I did a scribble page, but then I cut out the hair and put it on here. And I really like the effect because Splatoon is also a very colorful game. So drawing Splatoon art is also it's always so fun because you can really play around with colors and it just looks nice in the end. Oh yes, my special Coraline page. So Coraline is my favorite movie ever. I've watched it so much. I remembered every single line, I think. But yeah, I wanted to do a interactive page. So, you know, it's the door, you know, you open it. What? It's just bricks. And, you know, then you see the mouse. And, you know, you can follow the mouse. I hope it works now. It's a little finicky. Kind of a spoiler what's happening, but yeah, you can just, you know, push that up and then you open it and then the portal is there. It's a silly idea, but I think it's also very genius somehow. So yeah, I really like this idea. It's just very hard to get it back. So, okay, and then just a very lazy drawing of Coraline without any shading or something. But I'm really proud of this idea. I really like it. Here I do some cats with colored pencils. I think I was watching some kind of YouTube tutorial while drawing this, but I really can't remember what it was. It was something about making interesting shapes in art or something. And maybe I can find it and then I will put it on screen, the name of the artist. And then I did some SpongeBob drawings. SpongeBob SquarePants is one of my favorite series ever. I watched it always when I was a kid, and maybe this is the reason why I'm so weird. But it's very close to my heart. I really like his character, and I wish I could be a little more like him, you know. Be whimsical, do what you love. Yeah, I wish I could be a little more like him. Yes. Then another doodle page. This is inspired by the sky in Bikini Bottom, or the water, I guess. It's not the sky, it's water. But I like the color palette a lot. I wasn't doing so great, so I did a little self-portrait, you know, because everything is changing and change is making me very uncomfortable. I can't handle change very well. Yeah, but it's also a chance to grow, I guess, so I decided to draw a flower, you know. I rarely draw myself processing feelings, or I rarely use art to process feelings, I guess. This is one of the rare instances. But it felt very good. Maybe I should do it more often. This was a day I spent with my sister. She had to go to the dentist and I was just sitting there and had a coffee. And I decided to draw some things that I saw around me. And then at one point my sister came back to sit with me and she had a very bad toothache. Yeah, that's what it says here in German. And then I decided to draw some flowers again. I like the colors. And then a little burp too. These are just some figure studies. At this point I just wanted to get done with the sketchbook because when I did this I already had finished the 2-week sketchbook and I just wanted to get this one done as well so I can start a new sketchbook. The last few pages in a sketchbook are always very messy for me because I want to start something new. Starting a new sketchbook is always fun. I had this idea of a gecko losing its tail and then carrying it around. And it's a silly idea, but I really like it. And this, yeah, I don't know. I was just grasping for ways to fill up the last pages, I guess. Yeah, doodle pages are always great for filling pages, so I did that. And then this is the last page. Or almost the last page. Yeah, I just did some swatches. I drew them in the bag. That's it. Oh yeah, some stickers. Yeah, I really like this sketchbook. As I said, the paper is very nice. You can use everything on there and everything just looks awesome. The paper has a very nice feel to it. It's everything I want, except that it's very expensive and I can't afford it anymore. Oh, that's so sad. Yes, I was searching for a nice sketchbook for such a long time, and then I found it and it's expensive. Ugh. Okay. But it's okay. Maybe someday I will be able to afford it again. But this was my sketchbook. And this had a lot of favorite pages in it. I'm really starting to get more into colors, just expressing myself freely without worrying about, you know, does it look perfect? Does it make sense? Will other people like it? And that's, I don't know, that's very nice. That was my sketchbook. This is one of my favorite sketchbooks so far, and I love it. I really love all my recent sketchbooks a lot. And I hope you also had fun looking at my art, and that you will also have a look at my next video. I don't know yet what my next video will be, but I guess we will see. I hope you have a great day and see you guys next time. Bye!